It's Verb T, and you are currently listening to or watching, if it's YouTube, Played Out Radio.
Welcome to Played Out Radio, 12th instalment. We're joined by Mr. Verb T.
How you doing, man? You right?
Yeah, not bad. I'm not bad. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Good. Glad you come to meet us today in this nice little backdrop we've got here.
Yeah, it's nice surroundings, man.
Yeah, nice. Very cool.
I had a coffee and everything, so
yeah,
ready to talk.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So you got a lot of stuff going on at the moment?
Yeah, it's been real busy at the moment, man. A couple of festivals and shows here and there, but mainly just finishing off my new project and just been making videos and actually recording new stuff and also trying to finish off the Owls album. So there's like a million things going on at any given time.
That's it.
Plus I've got loads of kids as well.
You got loads of kids.
Well, 4.
Yeah, four's enough.
It's plenty.
Yeah. How did you initially get into music?
What, music in general or?
Yeah, anything.
I mean, I don't remember the very first song that I was obsessed with, really. It was probably Bobby Brown and Michael Jackson. A kid growing up, when I grew up, that's what literally every kid listened to.
Yeah.
And then there was pop stuff, but nothing really stood out until I heard hip hop. I think actually I had a lot of albums from Bobby Brown and Michael Jackson and just random movie soundtracks. I was always kind of interested in music, but until I heard hip hop, I never really got obsessive about it. And as soon as I heard hip hop, I just wanted to listen to it all the time. That's all I wanted to listen to.
So yeah, my first album, when I first heard the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Yeah, that's the first vinyl I ever bought.
Do you know what I mean? It was for me, it was I want to be like those guys. Do you know what I mean?
That was the moment, 36 Chambers, when it came out, that was I don't feel bad because everyone's got their own time, but I think anyone that was there when that album dropped and heard it at that time, it was a real privilege to actually see it unfold as it happened. Because I kind of feel like I don't know if that sounds like an old person thing to say or whatever, but I just feel like if you got into Wu-Tang slightly later, it's you obviously still love it and go back and hear all the music. It's just the age thing, but personally I just feel real lucky to have heard it and seen it as it dropped and watch it unfold in the way it did.
Definitely.
So that was a real moment for hip hop.
Is there a particular album that you bought that your first album you thought, this is my shit, this is my stuff, do you know what I mean? This is me, this is, do you know what I mean?
Man, what? You know what? Albums that really did that for me were things like Far Side, the first 2 albums, so Bizarre Ride and Lab Cabin, and also Souls of Mischief 93 to Infinity. Those albums really I don't know, it was the sound of them, not just what the MCs were saying or the style, but just the whole, the whole thing together.
Thing comes with it,
because when I listen to music, I get a lot of visuals. It just and those albums, even just the beats, painted whole pictures for me. When because in those days it was just a Walkman and just looking out the window of a bus. So you get after your imagination, you just get a screen go down and you're looking out the window, but you're just in your own thoughts.
That's good. It makes you go away somewhere else. It takes you somewhere else in your thoughts. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what music should do, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what. So those albums really did that. But then I think in terms of the stuff that really spoke to me and made me want to be creative was Gangstar and like I said, Wu-Tang and Tribe Called Quest, definitely Midnight. Because Midnight Marauders and 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang were released on the same day.
Right.
And they're very different from each other, but both just incredible albums, 2 of the best hip hop albums ever, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
I think Midnight Marauders, maybe just because of not the style of music I make, but the style of music I gravitate towards. Maybe I slightly prefer Midnight Marauders, but even then, Wu-Tang at the time, I definitely played a lot more then. I think over the years, I've gravitated more towards listening to Tribe more than Wu-Tang. But yeah, man, those were big albums. But in terms of how I got into making music, a lot of it was down to you know, I just think you get put in certain places at certain times, and a lot of luck is involved with who you meet and
right place, right time sort of thing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I put it to you like this: like you know, when I was a kid, I lived in South London, and then when I think I was like just before I was a teenager, moved over to West London. My mum and my stepdad, and I happened to be like across the road from Harry Love, and that's how we met.
Right.
And we kind of learnt our craft together. So when he started DJing and making beats, I was like, shit, I want to do that, but I don't really want to be a DJ. But I'd always liked writing lyrics, and I'd always like looked at the role of MC as like, yeah, I'd like to do that. But so when I saw him actually becoming a DJ and making beats, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start actually writing lyrics and recording them. And I was real shy to do it then. I was like, oh man, I don't want to rap in front of people. I was just like a quiet little teenage kid. But when I rap, people are like, oh, that's actually sick. That's actually good, you know. And I was like, really? So I just kept doing it, and yeah.
What was your first sort of like on moment, like, you know, that moment when you were on stage and like, yeah, actually, I've got this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
you know, I have a few
that blinding flash sort of thing.
Well, there's the first show we ever did. It was like me, Harry Love, and our homie Alhambra, who's producer now. But he dips in and out of music when he wants. He's one of those guys, but he's like real talented at it. But we had a show together. It was actually Harry Love's dad, like R.I.P. because he passed away recently. So yeah, like miss him and shit. But yeah, he put us on our first show because he was playing guitar and doing his songs, and he's like, because we were in Harry Love's house, so he heard what we were doing and shit, and was like, oh yeah, you know, do you want to play a set? And I think originally it was going to be Harry DJing, and then he said to, you know, me and Simon, oh yeah, why don't you come and do a set as well with me? So that was the first time I rapped live, and I used to just like shout as loud as I could.
Yeah.
So it probably sound fucking awful if I saw it, but at the same time, like, we kept an audience there and people actually liked it, so it was a positive thing. But I used to hate shows, like even for the first, like even in the low life days, like when we were touring that project, me and Kashmir, I used to be the MC that would get nauseous before every single show.
You still
like
sweaty palms and stuff like
that. Literally throwing up, like literally. Oh. I literally was that guy for a few years.
No.
But it's funny though, something just flicks eventually and you just stop caring. And now, like, it doesn't matter how big the stage is now, I would never feel that way again. Well, I say that, but actually it's probably not true. There probably are certain stages that do like, fuck. But like, we did, like, one of the house shows we did was in Vienna, and it was like, it was us sandwiched in between like massive German like rap acts, but like radio played. Like, there's a guy called Sammy Deluxe who's massive out there, and really fucking cool guy as well. We met him, like, he's worked with Jay Dilla and stuff, and obviously when we got to meet him, me and Leaf were like, what's it like working with Dilla? But he was just telling us mad stories about that. But so yeah, we were sandwiched in between him and then this young kid who was like blowing up in Austria and Germany. And it's, you know, it's in Vienna, so it's you know, this first language is German, but obviously everyone speaks great English, but we just thought, but they even gonna know who the fuck we are. And
that's a pretty good slot though, isn't it? Like,
oh yeah, exactly. It's a great opportunity, but the thing is, like, we do actually have, because we had done a few tours in Austria, we do actually have a pretty good fan base, but then the people that were at the show were just fucking going for it the whole set. We did like 45 minutes and it was like 30,000 people.
No way. And
I walked out and I wasn't nervous, but when I look back at little videos of it, I can tell I was.
You could see the nerves on your face.
But I was just like, while I was rapping, but it was one of the most energetic shows we've done. And I think after that, it just made me think, you know what, I'll never be nervous at a show again, because it was just...
That was the deep end sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but it didn't even feel like the deep end. That's what I'm saying. It felt like it was one of the best shows in memory that we've done, because it was just like a real moment. And it went from like us being like, fuck, is anyone gonna know? Like, you know, because we played club shows here to like 1,000 people, but that's 30,000, so they're not all gonna like be big 4 hours.
That's a big crowd, isn't it?
So it's like, are people gonna fuck off? But literally we had the whole crowd like putting their hands up and shouting, like, yeah. So
would you say that's the biggest crowd you played to?
I think to this point, yeah. Yeah. And but yeah, so that that really stands out in the memory. Like
that sounds awesome. Right, okay. Past influences. Who do you think that your style mostly resembles? I personally think from listening to past stuff from yourselves and 4 Hours and stuff, it's very sort of 90s hip hop orientated. Is that the sort of thing you would agree with, or?
That's what we grew up listening to. So the influence is in there. And that's the style of hip hop that we kind of gravitate towards, I guess. But I don't know. Influences come from weird places as well. So, I don't know. Like I went through a certain spell years back of like just listening to loads of Jimi Hendrix, because I never really grew up listening to that. I think my parents did like his music, but it wasn't like playing in the house all the time. And that kind of just influenced me to want to write in a different way. And then more recently, there's a guy called Mac DeMarco, who's like guitar singing guy. I don't know much about his history, but I know that he's had quite a big cult following. And I just heard a couple of songs of his. It's not like full albums I listen to, but he has certain songs that really stick with me.
Yeah.
And I find like, in terms of writing and being creative, I would rather listen to something that's totally different to what I make. Because if I just listen to, like, for example, the old classic hip hop, I do go back to those songs, of course, and I do listen to predominantly hip hop, but when I'm actually in the mode to create, I try not to listen to hip hop, because I just think subconsciously certain things get stuck in your head. So it's like you're being too influenced by the same genre that you're making.
Yeah.
But I think I've always been quite good at differentiating between liking something and wanting to copy that. It's always been two separate things in my head. Like I like being a fan of things, and when I get creative, I like to just do it in my own way.
Yeah.
And I'm quite stubborn as well, so I like to do what. If people say I shouldn't do something, it makes me want to do it creatively. That's probably not true about any other aspect of my life.
It's like going against the grain. So see what's a little bit different.
Yeah, but it's just a stubborn thing of, well, why can't I do that? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? So that makes me want to try and do that.
Yeah, and try and prove you wrong, sort of thing. Right?
But just like I want to see what's wrong about it. Like, in terms of creativity, strictly because I just think as soon as you tell yourself, right, I can't go that way, then you're just shutting off a whole avenue of something that could have been good. So I don't know, it's a weird thing, but it's just how my mind works when I make music, really. So I guess to go back to the original question, it's rooted in that sound, but I think especially with the 4 Hours, I think with my solo stuff it's different though. I think the songs, maybe, I don't know, a lot of it is still rooted in that 90s hip hop sound, but it's kind of, I think the solo stuff I do is kind of different, particularly on the new project. I think people will hear sort of progression in what I'm doing. I think the Hours, again, like with our new project, it is like that classic sound that people know the Hours for. But again, like it's just evolved because Lee's been learning a lot of things as a producer, so his beats have changed, and I think he's making some of the best stuff as a producer that he's made before. And I just think we're more on point as a group now because, it's weird because with the first album, you've got this sort of fire and this spark, and it's kind of hard to recreate that. And so you never have that same thing again on the later projects, but the thing you do have is a different understanding. And if you can use that, like which I think we did on this project, which is why it's taken so long, because we could have easily been like, shit, the last one did really well, let's just hammer out another one this year. And the thing is, it would have been shit. Like, it really would have been shit. We just weren't in that space. Well, but we just weren't in that space where we wanted to do it.
Right.
You know what like, we had solo stuff we're doing a lot of shows, and it's really hard work doing a group album. Not because we don't like each other, because we really do get on, and I think it's a testament to the fact that we haven't killed each other. Because it's been really stressful certain periods. Like, certain tours and just like trying to get everyone in the same space at the same time. And you do end up having arguments like any like family or good set of friends does.
I think it's healthy to a certain extent.
Yeah. But then it's like, well, maybe it's good sometimes to just be friends and just like keep the music shit distant until we can't help but come together and make it. And I think that's kind of what we did. It got to a point where we were all like, you know what, we really should do this now.
Yeah.
And so I think because of that, you you're going to get a much better album than you would have if we'd have just pushed one out earlier.
I suppose it would have been a bit forced otherwise, wouldn't it? I mean, it's better for it to have, organically come together as opposed to all being shoved in the same room and not agreeing on a lot of things.
Yeah, but it just would never work.
Yeah.
Because we're all so fucking stubborn as well. That's like the way I talked about being stubborn creatively. I think we're kind of all like that. And so if you try and force us to do an album as a group, you wouldn't even get an album. You just get like a studio on fire or something.
Yeah.
Like 4 angry guys. But like, the fact that we wanted to do it, it had to be like that.
Yeah. Obviously on 4 Hours fame, starting from High Focus and all that sort of stuff. What's new in the pipeline? What's the newest thing you've got going on at the moment?
So the album that's about to come out is called A Question of Time, and that's fully produced by Pitch 92, who also produced my last album, Good Evening. That's been my main focus because that's just about to drop, and so we've been doing videos for that and different the after you recorded it to get ready for the release. That's been my main focus, but we've been working hard on the New House album too, so that's kind of big. It's cool though because that's actually still in the stage of finishing off vocals, whereas the other album's finished, so I'm not really thinking about that from an artistic point of view.
Yeah.
So it's not clashing too much, which is cool.
Oh, good. What's that like? You've been saying about festivals and stuff like that recently.
Yeah.
Favourite festival you've done so far?
This year? Yeah. I say Boomtown was really cool. I mean, I actually really enjoyed NAS, just because I had a fun time. Like, there's caught up with a lot of people, which sometimes is the best thing about
that's it. Yeah.
Gives you an opportunity to do that. But no, I say in terms of the show, Boomtown was pretty special. We did a High Focus takeover. We did a 4-hour set, and then Slow Tie was like the guest. So then he sort of closed it out and did a really sick set as well. So
nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, well, anything happened around Christmas time? Anything like you got planned around Christmas time? Anything special? And anything we need to know about?
No, the thing I like to do on Christmas is absolutely nothing. Just stay in my dressing gown. So.
Veg.
Yeah, no, there's no big shows going on in December this year. Gonna probably wind down and have a quiet one, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have a few shows though with the album being out. But,
I suppose that's what you have to do, innit?
Yeah,
push it sort of thing.
There's no big event or anything. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So who at the moment would you say is one of your personal influences? Someone that's current at the moment. I mean, is there anything that's catching your eye that people need to listen to, or in your opinion?
I try and listen to everything that comes out. I guess like in the last year or so, just to give it a wider thing, people that stood out to me. Like I go back to Anderson .Paak a lot. Someone I find like when I listen to his music, it kind of motivates me to want to be creative as well. And plus, I just really like music.
Yeah, it's quite full, isn't it? His stuff,
it's rich, not just the new album, but I go back to a lot of old tracks. Like, there's not many albums I really have on repeat. I mean, I like the Madlib and Freddie Gibbs album was like that. I could listen all the way through. I think that's a lot down to just how Madlib puts albums together, because he changes up beats halfway through and has little skits. So I really like listening to his albums in full because you get a lot from it. They're kind of constructed in that way. But there's a rapper from Canada called Daniel Son as well who's sick. He's good, and he's part of like a whole. They're not necessarily a crew, but it's like people that work together a lot. So there's
like a collective sort of thing.
There's like Future Wave produced his new project, which is really good. And then there's a guy called Rome Streets as well, and they've worked together before quite a bit, and he's really dope. So he's got a lot of projects out there actually, because a lot of these younger MCs are real prolific, like just come with a lot of different things one after the other. So it's hard to keep on top of everything, but there's a lot of good stuff out there, man. I try and keep my ear open.
You've worked with the likes of Ocean Wisdom. Who do you like to work with?
No, really good, man. We did a 4 hours feature on his album, and that come out good. that was a good track. I think people liked it. I think people liked the combination. And then he did a verse on my last project. And yeah, I sent him that beat because I don't know, it's just a real hard beat, and I could just hear him on it. And yeah, to be honest, he fucking killed that track. Like I got it back, I was like, yeesh. Like, you know, I need to tighten up my shit. But I didn't re-record, I didn't rewrite it, but yeah, I did kind of tighten up the delivery after, you know, after when we did the final version.
So, like, who have you got in mind that who would you aspire to work with? Who would be your most favourite person to work with?
You know, I don't really have that thing, because it used to be that I'd look, I don't know, people that I grew up listening to, like, oh, if I could do a song with them one day.
Yeah.
But I think, like, the more I've gone on in my career, I'm happy to just be a fan of people now. Like, I don't have the same drive to, you know, just because I like stuff, it doesn't mean I can kind of see it working as a collaboration. So even like, so we talked about Anderson .Paak. I'm not saying that it's not someone I would, you know, obviously if he sent me a beat and said, get out, I wouldn't be like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, thank you.
But at the same time, it's not, I don't listen to his music and think, oh, I'd love to get him on the track. I just enjoy his music.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be
from a consumer's point of view.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't really think about, but in terms of like, so on my latest album, like the way the collaborations came about was, I just picked people that I just happened to hear them. And so like, for example, Tremendous featured on the first single, and she's relatively up and coming. Like a lot of people do know, but she's still like, she's nowhere near where she will be. But I just heard one track that I really liked. And then I just happened to have something I was working on with Pitch. I thought, oh, she sound really good on that. So I just reached out, and she was mad cool, and we did the song. And then the other feature is Rai Shabby, who's someone that I've worked with quite a lot. But like when I heard the beat, I was like, I want to get a feature, and I was thinking of all these names. Like I was trying to get, like, not necessarily a big artist, but you know, someone established, or maybe reach out to someone I hadn't worked with that would be, you know those collaborations when you hear about them, people go, oh shit, those two on the track.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I could try and do that.
Something out of the ordinary sort of thing.
But then when I listened to the beat, I was like, no, Rai would sound good on this. And I kind of sent it to him just to see what he thought of it. And he's like, oh, I love the concept, and just came. So I think sometimes with collaborations, it's nice to just, you know, it's not about thinking of the biggest name. For me, it's always just about, right, who fits this track.
That's right. Yeah.
I think because of that mentality, because, you know, also saying that, you know, with the hours we work with Premier, and that was when I was growing up.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah.
Well, he's my ultimate hero growing up. So after that collaboration, it's like, well, no other collaboration is going to be like, or maybe someone like Slick Rick would be incredible, just for the fact that he's the person that made me want to rap in the first place. But even then, it's not something I think about, like, I have to make that happen, because, you know, it's...
If it happens naturally, I guess. You know,
well, yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a phone call from him, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's not something that's on the cards, but yeah, I think that's another thing is, these days I just see what opportunities show up as well. I'm less about chasing after anything in music now. I just like make what I make, and then...
It makes you feel good, do it. You know
just leave it at that. Yeah, I don't know, man, I'm a lot more relaxed about it, I think is what I'm trying to say. And not just about collaborations, but just music in general. And I think because of that, I'm enjoying it more than I ever have, which sounds funny coming from me, because I've made so many fucking albums, but...
Is it seven albums and 5 EPs, isn't it, or something? Is that right?
It's probably more than it. I mean, it depends what you count as albums and EPs. Like, literally, people ask me how many I've released, and I say I don't know. But I literally actually don't know. But yeah, it might be more than that now.
So how old were you when you first realised that this is your calling, this is what, I want to do this for a job, I want to do this
just
for a living?
Literally forever. Like,
really?
When I was 8 years old and I heard Slick Rick, like, it wasn't, the song wasn't brand new out, it had been out for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
But I found the record in my dad's collection, and among other things, I was listening to loads of, you know, just whatever a kid would
Yeah.
Jive Bunny, I don't know, some weird old stuff. But yeah, no, so that one is the one that I really, you know, it just grabbed me straight away. And then just literally from then I wanted to rap. I used to just try and copy what he did on the record and then just make my own things, but rapping in his exact style.
Yeah.
And then I learned more about hip hop from there. And
I think everyone starts off going through the mum and dad's record collection, don't they?
Yeah.
So I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did it. I mean, I know that.
I don't know if it's the same nowadays, though. That's
what I'm saying. I'm forever saying to my boy Dylan, who's decided to join us today.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, let's do this. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah, that's what I find out with my kids. You can't make them listen. Like, I'll try and play them certain songs.
Yeah.
But it's funny that I think the more I like something and try and get them to listen,
the more uncool,
the more resistant they are.
Yeah.
I think it's just a natural thing of like not being like told what to do.
That's it.
My kids are younger as well. Maybe it's I don't know if it changes as they get older.
Oh, they all get into gaming and stuff and all technology. You want to say,
but you know, they can find everything themselves nowadays, can't they?
That's it.
You know, they can find their own music in a way that, like, we couldn't just go on a magical box and like. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, people watching depends what age they are. But like, from my age, like, it's, you know, I couldn't just find it without. I had to physically go through records.
I had to go through my dad's tape box and
I
stuff.
think it's
like
quite sad in a way that maybe kids won't be doing that. But you know, it's just things move on, man. It's just how it is. Like, you know, I think people are still learning about music, so it's not bad, is it? People just have more to dig into now.
That's it. Everything's accessible now at the end of their fingertips, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. But so definitely people should be checking you out. Should be checking the 4 hours out. So, and especially with that Pitch 92 release coming out Friday, wasn't it? You said it was,
30th of August. I don't know when this is going out, but it might be out already. The album might be out already.
But yeah, people should definitely check that out. Thank you very much.
Nice one,
Made
man.
that easy. Thank you.